CEO of Peak Design sent an email to its customers, and my partner has purchased from them in the past and forwarded it to me. It states, you may be aware that an everyday backpack made by Peak Design was worn during the New York City shooting last week. Some of you have asked what our policies are around customer privacy, so I wanted to lay that out. Peak Design has not provided customer information to the police and would only do so under the order of subpoena. We cannot associate a product serial number with a customer unless the customer has voluntarily registered their product on our site. Serializing our products allows us to track product issues and in some cases quarantine stock if a defect is found. The serial numbers on our V1 everyday backpacks were not unique or identifying. They were lot numbers used to track batch production units. We did not implement unique serial numbers until V2 iterations of our everyday backpack. If you do choose to register a Peak Design product and it is lost or stolen, you can reach out to our customer service team and have your registration erased so the bag is not traceable back to you. We take our customer privacy seriously. There is misinformation being shared on social media that has triggered many serious threats for the safety of not only me, but our employees as well. I ask that you please consider the facts we are providing here and continue to instill trust in the Peak Design brand. I find this very interesting because somebody's lying. This information was not only shared on social media, it was on the news. I'm no lawyer, but I would guess that Luigi's lawyer is eating this up.
Oh no, I did not expect this to happen. We need to talk about Peak Design right now. It was only just a few days ago that I made a video about how much press Peak Design was getting because of the United Healthcare situation. The CEO of the backpack brand voluntarily gave information to both the media and investigators. He even said, of course, my instinct would be to do whatever is possible to help track this person down, talking about Luigi. And listen, this is the biggest issue here. As a marketer, you're always looking at sentiment of conversations. And the public online is largely in favor and in support of Luigi. And as a brand, you kind of need to read the room. Now, legally, I'm not a lawyer, but after conducting some quick research with ChatGPT, it looks like the CEO did not need to proactively volunteer this information right now. So it's just overall not great for the brand. As a result, people started commenting on their socials and they've turned off commenting on all of their social accounts. I hope Peak Design has a good PR and legal team ready to talk. I can't believe I'm posting about this. But what do you do if your brand is all of a sudden getting tons of attention for something that you didn't sign up for? I'm referring to Peak Design's backpacks and how they're now associated with what happened this week with the United Healthcare CEO. As it stands from a data perspective, on Google Trends, their brand is taking off. And it's also all over social media, with this person even saying, I'm so curious about the convos at Peak Design right now. So if you're Peak Design, what do you do? Well, they've just finished posting for Black Friday and their comment section is already blowing up from this past week. And as a marketer, if I were them, I personally would take a little bit of a break from posting and then go back to business as usual. I personally don't believe this conversation is going to last forever. But on the flip side, you now have a ton of awareness around your brand, even if you didn't ask for it. And while I don't have access to the data, I do think after Black Friday and after this last week, they're not hurting for sales. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.
Founder of the company that made the backpack worn during the United Healthcare CEO's killing is responding to threats and rumors that investigators used the bag to track down and arrest Luigi Mangione. In a statement, Peak Design CEO said the company has not provided customer information to the police and would only do so under the order of a subpoena. He also clarified that the backpack in question did not have a uniquely identifying serial number.
Nancy Parker is not the only snitch in this whole Luigi situation. Pete Deering has entered the chat. Pete Deering is the owner of Peak Designs. Peak Designs is the maker of the backpack that the suspect was wearing in the unaliving of the United Healthcare CEO. So Pete did call the hotline. He reported that the backpack belonged to Peak Design, but he stated that he did not provide all details. He stated that he has a privacy policy. He stated that the ownership details are only kept with the company if the product is registered on their website. Seems like he has changed his story multiple times. It could be because of the sales of the backpack and the jacket that the suspect was wearing actually skyrocketed once those pictures came out. But now people are returning all the Peak Design products because people know that he snitched. They are no longer supporting his product. I wonder if he was expecting to receive a subpoena in order for him to fully snitch if he supposedly did not provide the details originally. People are not having it. They are calling it the backpack that does not have your back and they are returning all of them. So I guess it doesn't matter that he called the hotline and he didn't give all details because he was still expecting to provide all the details no matter what.
Don't mind me. I'm just going through my daughter's backpack before I donate it to make sure that there are no serial numbers attached to it, because the next owner may or may not commit a crime using said backpack. And then the CEO of the maker of the backpack will call the police and ask for the serial number and then turn me in for committing a crime that I didn't commit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the CEO of Peak Design, the backpack that Luigi was carrying, the backpack that was found in Central Park with the Monopoly money, he recognized his backpack and called the police and asked for the serial number and gave them the person that ordered it. So now we're talking more surveillance. Yeah, it can be used obviously for tracking warranty issues and stuff like that, but you just kind of abused that power. Peak Design is missing out on a huge marketing opportunity. There was a surge of purchases after that backpack was revealed. And honestly, Peak Design has been at the top of my list to lug around my photography gear. But not anymore. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? So now everybody that purchases backpacks, they're canceling orders and they're returning them.
The CEO of Peak Design did publicly admit that he called the tip line about the backpack found in Central Park, and it's not exactly going well for them. So I figured I'd offer a few mottos for a little rebrand, if you will. Peak Design backpacks, always at your back, so we can stab you in it. Peak Design, backpacks making history by being on the wrong side of it. Peak Design backpacks, backpacks with a story to tell. Most likely yours, and to the cops. Anyway, just trying to be helpful. I'd say tag them below, but apparently they're not allowing that right now.
This CEO story just gets weirder and weirder. So it seems we have another CEO involved. The CEO of Peak Designs, who made the backpack with all the Monopoly money in it. Do you remember that? Well, he came out and said, I'd give that information to the police. Unprompted. Called the tip line. Well, he just put out a statement, and let's read it together, shall we? First thing he says is they have not given that information to the police, and they would not without a subpoena. Also, they cannot track the bag by the serial number unless the customer voluntarily registered that backpack. And if you have registered your backpack and then you may be worried that it may be involved in some sort of monopoly crime, you can call customer service and have all your information erased. Well, let's talk about the holes in this statement. First off, the New York Times quotes you and says that you said you called the tip line and offered that information. Second of all, if you were going to be in some sort of monopoly Pennsylvania railroad crime, why would you register your backpack and then leave it in Central Park? That makes no sense. And third, are you telling me that the moment your info is deleted from your database, it is not recoverable? Because that seems like what you're saying. I wish when people did dumb things like this and they thought they were being some sort of hero, they would just stick with it. I would respect you a little bit more then. I mean, at least you're like, I'm sticking to my principles instead of backtracking the way you are. You absolutely said that to the New York Times because I don't think they're liars. Why would they lie about that? How did they even know you did it, sir? Did you call them? Did your publicist call them because you thought it was going to be good for your company? You CEOs are not very smart lately. So if you're in the market for a backpack and want one that's not from a douche like this, I got some in my showcase, so you should go check them out. And I'm also going to put a picture of the statement after this. You can pause and read it. Y'all have a good day. Be good.
CEO of Peak Designs, I know exactly why you snitched, bro. I know exactly why you did it. You did it because you were calculating. You thought, oh, this might be good for the brand. He's America's sweetheart. He's on a run right now. Not only do I come off like the good guy and I curry favor with all, the 1% and the other CEOs, but this could be good for us. This could be good for me. This could be good for the brand. I'm going to have it both ways. The vigilante sweetheart of the country chose my shit. So I'm going to tell everybody I'm a snitch, but I'm going to make sure like I get something from it. You didn't get what you wanted from it, did you? Snitch. I have no idea what your orientation is, bro, but don't nothing dry things up faster than a snitch. This did not turn out the way you wanted, and I love that for you. Don't you know people can't stand a snitch? People can't stand a snitch. Why'd you do that? You did it. Oh, I know why you did it. You did it because you thought it was going to be good for you. You thought it was going to be good for the brand. That's all y'all think about is what's good for the brand. That's all right. Now we know exactly who you are. We know exactly who your company is. And people like me who's got hundreds of dollars to throw around for a backpack, you'd be a less
The news and police showed the backpack that the suspect left. Everyone noticed that it was a Peak Design backpack, and I guess everyone started buying Peak Design backpacks because they were like, Luigi, icon. Oh my God, I want the same backpack. But then the CEO of Peak Design contacted the feds, and he was like,
hey, feds, you give me the serial number to that backpack. I'll tell you who bought that backpack.
And then everyone who bought a backpack was like, yo, what are you...
All right, so this CEO did not know how to read the room. Not only did he volunteer information, but he's letting y'all know that by serial number, these bags can be tracked down to the purchase. And so let's say someone steals your backpack and uses it in a crime. Well, it can be tracked back to you, just like a pew-pew. So I did some math. And for only 334 sales, this company makes over $100,000. That's fucking wild. So not only do I think we all should just go to their website and put as many as our cart as we can and then just leave it alone, but I hope every single one of you returns your backpack, because I know it was a really cool backpack, but look how much money they're making in participating in being able to track you down. And now he's letting y'all all know he'll rat you out too.
Is so very slippery. All we want to know are, did Peter call the tip line? Did he give info to the police? If he did not, why did the media report that he did? If the media lied, will Peter publicly correct the record?
Peak Design, yeah, I don't know how you survived this. I don't think you really realize what you did. You know, I don't think you guys grasp what's going on. And having the CEO of Peak Design without any provocation, going ahead and putting out information on Luigi, big mistake. I don't think you understand the temperature of the room. And because of that, I think you're going to get burned, because I think that was a really bad decision on your part. So I'm just taking a wild guess here, but I would say Peak Design, get ready for a lot of returns and get ready for a lot of orders to start just stopping. Yeah, that would be my guess, is that a lot of people just don't buy Peak Design anymore. I could be wrong, but I'm taking the temperature of the room, and I would say you're in trouble.
And then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like I
talked to the authorities right away when he saw his bag there. There was evidence right away. Yeah, exactly. He called the authorities. So the question is whether he helped to also trace this bag to that person, the suspect.
Guys, Luigi's backpack is on the Amazon store, and the reviews are way too high for a company that just ratted out our boy. I think you know the assignment.
If your insurance claim was denied, I have some great news for you. Peak Design decided to extend their Black Friday sales throughout the holidays to honor this great moment of American unity. So now you can get this beautiful bag until January 1st with a huge discount. So get it while the CEOs still last, because many say they might be gone by July. So get yours now before the CEOs are all gone. I mean, you can't not go wrong with a 5-star rating out of 1,190 people. So you know this backpack cannot be traced for whoever you decided to use it with.
So if you haven't heard, a lot of people are currently returning backpacks or like anything they've purchased from a company called Peak Design. The CEO of that company is just an idiot. But this is a great example of why Apple makes it known that like their first priority is your privacy, especially against the government. And that's why many times, even when it's like, it takes a long time for them to get into their phone because Apple values the privacy and, you know, they don't just like hand it up like the CEO of Peak Design did. So, and honestly, my opinion, yeah, you probably should return something if you bought it from them, because clearly they don't care about your privacy or care about their consumers enough to like keep that at least behind a subpoena. Honestly, the CEO being able to even do that screams unchecked power to me. So
was one of the snitches that snitched on Luigi Mangione. And how you say, you just let the entire world know that your bags can be traced by serial number. So the backpack that Luigi had filled with Monopoly money, that backpack was shown all over. Of course, we know that. Pete from Peak Design seen that backpack and asked the police to let him know the serial numbers. When he got the serial numbers, he let them know exactly who purchased the bag. And of course, we know who purchased the bag, right? Luigi Mangione. What I don't think Pete understood was how much we know right now. So at this moment, if you go look and search it up, it's a lot of people returning bags. It's a lot of people that doesn't even want to mess with your company anymore because you snitched on Luigi. Now, a lot of people are surprised he did it. Why would you be surprised? He's a CEO, and of course, he's a civilian. And civilians do these type of things. But I don't think that Pete knew exactly what he was doing. See, Pete, what you did was you just caused a downhill avalanche for your company. Thanks a lot, Pete.
CEO of Peak Design just found out that his customers care about privacy because they're returning their products after what he did.
Pete Deering contacted authorities.
He was quoted on October 10th talking about finances, saying, "I only take out what I need. I hit up my finance guy and say, hey, I need some money to take care of a healthcare situation," for example.
And why people buy a Peak Design thing is because they want to be associated with the brand.
People are boycotting this company now because the owner of it actually called the police to report Luigi Mangione. So this is Peter Deering. He is the CEO and founder of Peak Design, the backpack company. And their backpack has been in the news over the past couple weeks because it's the same backpack that Luigi Mangione left in Central Park filled with Monopoly money. Now, the sale of their backpack absolutely blew up over the past couple weeks because the backpack went so famous, and it's selling for $280. That is until yesterday when people found out that the owner called the NYPD and said that he could help them find out who owned the backpack by the serial number. And that has caused so many people to start to boycott the company and say they are going to return, refund, and review the company. And their most recent video even has more views than that. It has 1.8 million views because so many people are going to their page trying to say things to the CEO. You can see just a week ago, their videos were getting barely 20,000 views. Now they've actually turned off all the comments on every video on their TikTok account because of the people.
Okay, I'm adding this to my Christmas list. They're having a killer sale right now, so if someone could, you know.
Oh, the time to live in America and turn around and be a snitch. So y'all know all about Peak Design going viral and selling out bags because of Luigi Mangione. Come to find out, Peter Deering willingly volunteered Luigi's information because apparently they have numbers on the bag where they can track you. Mr. Deering did not even wait for a subpoena to be issued from the courts to at least, give out such information. He voluntarily did it. He could have waited until he got the subpoena, take some time, to go over it with your lawyers. Within the necessary time frame they give you on the subpoena to issue said data. Not everybody and their parents and whomever are returning the bags and donating it. It's because, ain't nobody want to be tracked in case a crime committed with said bag. Mr. Deering, now why would you do that? Why would you go ahead and do that?
Before Luigi Mangione was arrested, his mom actually spoke with FBI the day before it happened. She goes ahead and tells the FBI that my son typically wears the same outfit that's seen on those pictures of the person who unalived the CEO, Brian Thompson of United Healthcare. And the CEO of Peak Design, Peter Daring, everyone thought he was the one who actually snitched to the FBI because he announced that he contacted the FBI because the backpack of his company was seen on this individual on security cameras who unalived the CEO. This is the iconic backpack full of Monopoly money that was found in Central Park, found days later after the unaliving. But get this, the CEO just posted a response on social media and emailed all of his customers about this incident, basically backpedaling and saying there's no actual way that their company can track an individual with the serial numbers that are quote unquote unique only in the version 2 model and not in the version 1 model. I think that his company took a hit because at first it was actually being sold out on Amazon everywhere. But then once he announced that he contacted the FBI and let them know about, the bag and maybe that they could track this individual. Maybe Luigi Mangione registered the serial numbers. That way they could track him. And because his company took a hit now, he has to clarify everything with his customers because clearly, people don't like snitches.
Daring, the CEO of Peak Design, the backpack guy, he put out a statement on Instagram just now.
Hello, everyone. You may be aware that an everyday backpack made by Peak Design was worn during the New York City shooting last week. Some of you have asked what our policies are around customer privacy, so I wanted to lay that out. Peak Design has not provided customer information to the police and would only do so under the order of a subpoena. That's interesting. We cannot associate a product serial number with the customer unless that customer has voluntarily registered their product to our site.
Serializing our products allows us to track product issues and in some cases quarantine stock if a defect is found. The serial numbers on our V1 everyday backpacks were not unique or identifying. They were lot numbers used to track batch production units. We did not implement unique serial numbers until V2 iterations of our everyday backpack. If you do choose to register a Peak product design and it is lost or stolen, you can reach out to our customer service team and have your registration erased so the bag is not traceable back to you. We take our customer privacy seriously. Peter Daring. And I find that statement very interesting because that's not exactly what he made it sound like when he talked to the people on the news.
This may be another clue. This is my backpack, but it's the same brand and color of the one found in Central Park after the killing. It's made by Peak Design, a San Francisco company. Each of these contains a serial number where the company can trace the purchase history. Now, the owner of this company, Pete Deering, contacted authorities, but texted me today that he's decided not to give interviews to the media, but he talked to the authorities right away when he saw his bag there on those evidence. Right away, yeah, exactly. He called the authorities. So the question is whether he helped to also trace to that person, the suspect.
So I'm in the car with my sister. She's driving. So which is it, right? Like, he's like, I have all the information for the shooter. I'm gonna call the cops and tell them, and I'm gonna be the hero. And then once he started getting backlash for it, he's like, oh, I didn't tell anybody anything. I didn't even have any information. I couldn't give information even if I wanted to. Either way, Pete, I'm sorry. It's just not a good look. And also when you put out the statement on social media and then you limit the comments so that it's just people who are on your side, it's also a really bad look. And it's really too bad because, had you not said anything, you would have had it in the bag.